Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you an example solve with the Orozco method in the 3x3 blindfolded. So first of all, this is not a tutorial, this is a video how I will show you how I solved the Orozco method in 3x3 blindfolded. Okay, I don't have anything more to say and we can start it now. Okay, first is the memoration. What I memorize first are the corners and then the edges. So my buffer is for the corners is the URF layer, and my helper is ULB layer. Okay, so I start with this piece. That is my buffer, of course. This one has to go there. That is the letter X for me. And this piece has to go there. This is the letter U. So XU, like Zibo Su, a Chinese speedkeeper who has broken the Chinese 3x3 NR single into 2018. So Zibo Su. And this one has to go there. This is the letter N for me. This piece has to go there. This letter for me is the N, so NM, neumático, which is a wheel in Spanish, NM, neumático. So I can imagine that the Zibo Su has a wheel, for example. And this corner has to go there. Excuse me, it has to go there. This is the letter W. This one has to go there. This is the letter E, so WE, like Western. So I can imagine that the Zibo Su has got a wheel in Western. And this piece has to go there. It's the letter V. Like, so for me, V would be vamos, which would be let's go in Spanish, vamos. So Zibo Su has a wheel in Western, vamos. Okay, now it's the turn for the edges. So the corners, well, what I told before, the Zibo Su has a wheel in Western and vamos, so it has given me an odd number. So if in the corners has given me an odd number, so it means I have to do parity for the edges. So for the parity, I swap the edges. So before that we begin with the edge with the edge that we have to swap. First, my buffer is the UF layer, and my helper is the UL layer. So when I put the edges in the right position, when I do it, I swapped two edges. So that I could do finally an edge was swapping when I finished to solve the cube in blindfold. So when I swap these two edges, it would be give me and J perm. So these two would be swapped. Yes, and these two corners. So when we put in the right position the corners, it doesn't matter, so we do the out. Okay, and if we swap these two edges, when we put in the right position the edges in the solve, that's for swapping the edges. So this would be an JB perm. And if we swap these two edges, so it would be an RB perm. No, excuse me, an A perm. in this case. And if we want to swap these two edges, so it will be in this case RB perm. In this case. And we can also swap these two edges, but there would be a T perm. And finally, we can swap also these two edges. So most of these cases I really don't use it. So what I use mostly are the JA perm. But yes, and this solve I want to use an RA perm. I will show you how it will work. So this piece has to go there, H. This is the letter H for me. And this one, so instead to put it there in this right position, so I put it there. So this letter for me would be N, so HN would be Han Solo for me from the Star Wars. And this one has to go there. So and this one is the letter K for me. Okay, and this one goes there. This is the Q, so Q, so kaki, a fruit in Japan. This one has to go there. This is the letter E for me, E, G, so egg. And imagine that Han Solo has a kaki and egg. This one. So instead to put it there, but we have put already this one, I put it there. So in this case now the two edges would be swapped now in these two cases. So yes, instead to put it there, I put it there. Then we have already the two edges swapped. So this is the letter R for me. This one has to go there. Letter R, S. So can you imagine that Han Solo had khaki eggs with roses? Okay, and this one has to go here now. This is the L, C, and LC like LC cube, and Han Solo that has an khaki egg. Roses, it was with LC Cuba, so the YouTuber on your YouTube, and where we see that we've got an edge flip. Okay, now we start executing the cube. So I start execute first the edges and then the corners. So for the edges, what I told before, this edge has to go there, and this one instead that it goes there, I want to put it there because I want these two edges swapped. So because in the corners when I memorize, it has given me an odd number. And if it gives me an odd number, so I have to do parity in the edges. So I do it in this way to swap these edges. I put this edge there first, and then the white blue I put it there. Okay. We start to put this edge there. That is the letter H for me. It's the first letter. It's an odd number, and if it's an odd number, I have to deal with the helper. So I want to put this edge there. Okay, and the commutator that I use is this one. So we can see now that these two edges have been swapped, and so instead that this one is here, it's here now. Okay, and this edge now I want to put it there instead there, because I want these two edges swapped. Okay, and it's this second letter, the N, and if it's an even number, I have to deal now with the buffer, and the arc that I use is this one. Okay, now we complete HN there, that is Han Solo. Now this one, it has to go there, this is the letter K, and this one, it's the third letter, and it's an odd number, so if it gives me an odd number, I have to deal now with the helper, so I want to put this edge there, and the commutator that I use is this one. Now, the letter Q is the fourth letter, it's an even number, and if it gives me an even number, I have to deal now with the buffer. I want to put this edge there now, and the commutator that I use is this one. Now, so we complete that Han Solo has a car key. And now this one has to go there. E is the fifth letter, an odd number, so I have to deal now with the helper. The commutator that I use is this one. The letter G, the sixth number, an even number, I have to deal now with the buffer. Now we complete that Han Solo has a car key and egg. Now this one actually has to go there, but instead we put it there, so well, now we will have the edges swapped. So it's the seventh letter, and so we have to deal now with the helper. The commutator that I use is this one. Now we have to, so Han Solo has an khaki and egg and roses. So we complete R. Now the S. So we have to do a cycle break, like I see, and it's the, so I can remember. It's the eighth number, eighth letter, and so we have to do now with the buffer. So we want to put this edge there, and the commutator that I use is this one. Now finally for LC. So in this one where we don't have to do nothing actually, so we do finally only the L. It's the ninth number, and so we have to do now with the helper, and the commutator that I use is this one. Now finally we have to flip these two edges. So I would do it like this, do B2, and I do the arc. Then we solve the edges, and we can see now these two edges have been swapped. Let's execute now the corners. So for the corners, what I told before, this corner has to go there. This letter for me is the letter X, it's the first letter. It's an odd number, and it's the same for the edges. If it gives me an odd number, I have to deal with the helper. So I want to put this corner there, and the commutator that I use is this one. Now we can see that this edge is solved. Now we can see that these corners have been swapped. So instead that this corner is here, it's here now. And now the next letter is the U, the second letter. It's an even number. It gives me an even number. I have to do now with the buffer. It's like the same way with the edges. Say again. And yes, I want to put this corner there, and I do this commutator. You can see that this edge has been solved now. So we complete Xu, the Chinese boy who broke the 3x3 single in 2008. Now this one, now the next letter is the M, and it's the third letter, an odd number. I have to deal now with the helper, and the commutator that I use is this one. So I want to put this corner there, use this commutator. Okay, the next one, that is the M, is the fourth letter, so I have to deal now with the buffer, and the out that I use is this one. We can see that it has been solved now. So NM, pneumatico, the wheel in Spanish. Now the next letter, that is the letter W. So it's the fifth letter, so I have to deal now with the helper. So I want to put this corner there. The commutator that I use is this one. The next one is the sixth letter, the E. I have to, it's an even number, and I have to deal now with the buffer, so I want to put this corner there, and the commutator that I use is this one. You can see it has been solved now. So we complete the WE Western, so Zibosu has a wheel in the Western, and now finally the letter V, that is the seventh letter, an odd number, the last letter, and so we have to deal now with the helper, and the out that I use is this one. Now we can see that lastly we have to do an arm. That's why we swap these two edges at the beginning. So we do the arm. And now the cube has been solved finally. I hope you have learned something about the Orozco method, so I can let you in the description and PDF and the video where I learned the Orozco method, and maybe try something else. So that's all what I can show you about the Orozco method, and see you in the next video.